Learn English with Daily Glowing English Podcast.
English Leap Podcast, brought to you by Glowing English. Rise and shine, champions. Today is your day. Your moment is right now. Sorry about that. I watched the video this morning and some tiny part of my brain just felt compelled to try that out loud.
How did that feel on the inside?
Deeply phony. Like I was trying to sell myself a secondhand car that I don't even want.
A car you don't want?
A super shiny car, 0 brakes, heading straight into a Monday morning wall. That is just not who we are.
Not at all. No 5 a.m. club here, no ice baths, no transforming into a brand new human being before breakfast time. We simply do not have the energy for that nonsense.
Honestly, nobody watching or listening has the energy for that either. So what do we actually have energy for?
One slightly better minute. That is where we begin.
I really love how this channel keeps getting smaller and simpler instead of getting bigger and more overwhelming.
That is completely intentional. Practically every other morning video on the internet is yelling at you to overhaul your entire life before your kettle even boils. We are doing the exact opposite. We are choosing to go small on purpose.
Exactly, because I genuinely believe most folks don't need a bigger, busier morning. They just need a much gentler, kinder one.
Oof, say that once more, just a bit slower for everyone.
A kinder morning, not a bigger one.
Okay, that definitely belongs on a coffee mug somewhere. Hey there, English learners. Welcome back to Glowing English, your cozy little corner of the internet to practice natural, easy English through real daily conversations. I'm Speaker 2. You might know me as Toma.
And I'm Speaker 1, though you can call me Jihad, currently recovering from my own fake motivational speech. Today, we are diving into morning motivation, but the honest, realistic kind, not the loud, shouting kind. This conversation is for anyone who wakes up feeling like they are already 5 steps behind. Pressure from work, family demands, unread messages, financial goals, or honestly, just the alarm clock itself.
Before we dive deeper into the conversation, if you're enjoying this lesson so far, please take a quick second, right now, just 1 minute into the video, to hit that like button and subscribe to Glowing English. It truly helps our channel grow and allows us to create more helpful content for you. Thank you so much.
Nods in agreement. That alarm tone doesn't say, "Good morning, dear." It screams, "Get up, your piece is officially over." So today, we aren't here to overhaul your entire morning schedule. Like Jihad was saying earlier, you don't need a massive morning routine. You just need a kinder one. That is the core of our whole conversation today. We're focusing exclusively on the very first minute, that little space before the world gets its heavy hands on you.
So, what does your brain whisper the exact moment your eyes open?
It certainly doesn't say anything gentle, I can tell you that much. It feels more like someone burst through my bedroom door holding a massive clipboard.
A clipboard?
Yeah, my brain carries a clipboard every single morning, and it starts barking items off the list before I've even sat up in bed.
That sounds absolutely relentless. By relentless, we mean something that refuses to stop or slow down. It just keeps pouring over you wave after wave without giving you a moment to breathe.
That is the perfect word for it, relentless. My thoughts don't bother knocking politely on the door. They just barge right in and start rearranging all the furniture in my head.
I really love that mental picture. Uninvited guests barging in to push your sofa around at 6 a.m.
And the absolute worst part is I just let them do it. I used to assume that was just what mornings were supposed to feel like. You wake up, the unwanted guests show up, you pour them coffee, and you let them take complete control of your entire house.
I used to live through a version of that myself, to be honest. Back when I was at university, I would open my eyes and immediately start replying to messages inside my head. I'd rehearse full-blown arguments that hadn't even happened yet, practicing conversations that were completely imaginary.
Wow, that sounds like a very specific, draining kind of exhaustion.
It really was exhausting. I felt completely depleted before my feet even touched the floor.
And I think that's the hidden trap so many of us fall into. We treat those precious first 60 seconds as if they automatically belong to whatever screams the loudest, whether that's work stress, guilt, or notifications.
So, who does that initial minute actually belong to? That's the real question, isn't it?
I would argue it belongs to you, just you, before anyone or anything else gets a chance to stake a claim.
Okay, but let me offer some real pushback here. That sounds lovely and poetic when we're sitting here recording a podcast episode, but in actual real life, people have chaotic mornings. Kids crying for breakfast, missed buses, family members yelling because they can't find their keys.
That's totally true.
And then some lifestyle guru comes along and says, just take a peaceful, meditative minute for yourself. And it sounds like advice coming from somebody who has never seen a pile of dirty dishes in their entire life. Has your kitchen sink seen a dirty dish today, Jihad?
My kitchen sink has witnessed several unresolved crime scenes today, Toma.
Mine as well, if we're being completely honest. I'm definitely not a naturally peaceful morning person. I had to learn all of this through trial and error. I actually used to sabotage my own mornings continuously without even realizing I was doing it.
Sabotage? You mean intentionally or unintentionally ruining something or making things way harder for yourself?
Precisely that. At one point, I constructed this elaborate morning routine with 9 individual steps. Wake up at dawn, do light stretching, write in a journal, brew herbal tea, 0 screen time, make a hot breakfast, write down 3 major life goals, the entire cinematic production.
Eyes wide open, surprised. 9 whole steps before breakfast? Toma, that isn't a morning routine. That's a whole local government policy.
It really was. And do you want to guess how long I stuck to it? I followed it flawlessly for about half a day.
Half a day?
Yes. By lunchtime, I had completely abandoned the journal, skipped the stretching, and was standing over the sink eating dry toast while scrolling furiously through my work emails. That routine didn't fall apart because I was lazy. It collapsed because it was engineered for a fictional human who has no actual daily responsibilities.
Ah, so the routine essentially sabotaged itself.
Well, I sabotaged it by making it far too grand and unrealistic for a normal, messy Tuesday.
See, that proves my exact point. If even you, organized Toma, step-by-step notebook Toma, cannot hold a massive routine together, what real hope is there for the rest of us?
Zero hope if our goal is to build massive, complicated routines. That's precisely why I stopped attempting to build an entire morning and instead focused entirely on protecting just one single minute. 1 minute out of an otherwise chaotic system. 60 seconds is small enough that almost nothing can ruin or sabotage it. There are no 9 complicated steps to fail at. It's just before you grab your phone, before the clipboard of tasks appears, you claim 60 seconds that belong exclusively to you.
So what do you practically do during those 60 seconds?
Some mornings, absolute nothing. I just sit quietly on the edge of the bed. Other days, I speak one genuine, honest sentence out loud to myself. It isn't magic. It doesn't magically stop your bus from leaving late or delete your unread messages.
So what's the actual purpose of doing it then?
Look at stress as if it were a driver and your morning as if it were a car. Stress is allowed to be inside the vehicle with you. It can occasionally be helpful. It points out hazards, gets your body moving, and tells you to pay attention. Stress has a legitimate function.
It certainly does. But if you allow stress to take the steering wheel for your whole morning, it speeds recklessly, misses every important exit, and yells at innocent pedestrians along the road.
My stress level definitely screams at pedestrians, metaphorically, and sometimes literally when I'm stuck in gridlock traffic. That 1 quiet minute isn't about throwing stress out of the moving car. It's simply about preventing stress from grabbing the steering wheel first.
That is such a powerful metaphor because I don't just rush around quietly in the morning. I rush around mentally insulting myself the whole time. Why are you so disorganized? Why didn't you set your clothes out last night? Why are you exhausted again? That isn't just a driver. That's an angry passenger screaming in your ear from the seat behind you.
Exactly. So that initial 60 seconds is just about taking full control of the wheel before the stress takes over.
Right. And you don't require a master plan to accomplish that. You just need roughly 1 minute and 1 truthful sentence that you actually believe in your core.
Okay, but this is the exact moment where I need to be totally real with you. The whole one truth sentence concept, I really want to believe in it, but some of those affirmation phrases people share sound so, I don't know, completely staged and fake.
Give us a classic example.
In a fake, cheerful voice. Today is going to be an astounding day. I am bursting with vibrant energy. Normal voice. I have tried saying phrases like that into the bathroom mirror at 6:50 a.m., and my own tired reflection just stared right back at me as if to say, yeah, right, prove it.
Your own face doesn't trust your claims.
My face has been through way too much. It knows my track record.
Now, I actually stand with you 100% on that point. A phrase that feels fake or untrue doesn't soothe your mind. It just gives you one extra thing to feel annoyed about. If you're completely exhausted and force yourself to say, I am filled with endless energy, a part of your brain just gets irritated at the lie.
So, what is the better option? Do we just throw in the towel and accept that mornings are inherently miserable?
Not at all. The better option is finding a statement that is realistic and compassionate at the exact same time. Not everything is incredible, but rather something like, I feel behind, but I can quietly begin right here.
That statement doesn't act like the bus isn't leaving soon.
Exactly. It doesn't pretend the surrounding chaos isn't real. It simply opens a quiet door right in the middle of it. I like to view it like a sturdy handrail, something small your hand can firmly grasp when everything around you feels like it's spinning too fast.
A handrail. I vastly prefer that over forced positive thinking.
A meaningful sentence isn't just a decorative ornament. It is something genuinely conducive to calm, meaning it actually creates the right atmosphere for peacefulness to take root, not because it sounds fancy, but because it is grounded enough in reality to cling to.
Conducive. Just like a cool, dim room is conducive to deep sleep, while my work email inbox is conducive to an immediate mental breakdown.
Spot on.
Okay, here is my actual unvarnished sentence then. It isn't graceful or poetic. Do not start your day by yelling at yourself.
That sounds so very much like you.
It's the one phrase I can genuinely believe when I speak it, which seems to matter far more than using poetic words.
It matters more than practically anything else. My grandmother used to share a phrase quite similar to that. You don't need to conquer the entire day before breakfast. No fancy goal planner, no massive 9-step list, just that simple reminder.
That is such a grounding thought to inherit. Though, let's be realistic. One phrase isn't going to fix every problem in your entire day. It won't complete your workload, clear up heavy traffic, or turn difficult people into angels.
No, it certainly won't. I won't sit here and pretend otherwise, but it can completely transform how you make your entrance into the day. This morning, before we sat down to hit record, the daily work was still waiting, the notifications were still piling up, but you didn't reach for your smartphone the literal second your eyelids fluttered open.
That is true. I didn't.
The statement didn't magically change the reality of your day, it transformed how you stepped through the front door into it. Same house, much better entrance.
I really like that framing. Careful now, Jihad. That almost sounded like a genuine compliment.
I'll try to keep myself in check. So this is the part where I would typically say, tonight, pick out your phrase, decide on one tiny action for tomorrow morning, organize everything in advance.
Whoa, hold on, stop right there. That is the exact moment where you completely lose me.
Already? How so?
Because right there, that simple, quiet minute is morphing right back into stressful homework. Pick a statement, choose an action, prepare the night before, hide your phone away, drink a full glass of water before looking at messages. Suddenly, my peaceful minute has turned into a rigid checklist again, and I know the exact pattern of what comes next. I'll design a gorgeous checklist, follow it religiously for 2 days, mess it up by Wednesday morning, and then drown in guilt for failing my own peaceful routine, which totally destroys the whole point to begin with.
That is painfully, annoyingly accurate.
I know my own psychological habits very well by now, unfortunately.
You make a very fair point, actually. If we're not paying close attention, even trying to be peaceful becomes just another performance, another test we feel required to score an A on.
Exactly. Suddenly, I'm feeling anxious about whether I'm being peaceful enough. That is a very modern, unique flavor of mental exhaustion.
I've walked that path before, trust me. Remember that crazy 9-step system I mentioned? I also once went out and purchased a costly, beautifully bound goal planner specifically intended to lower my daily stress levels.
Did it actually help?
All it really did was give my daily stress a much prettier piece of paper to sit on. That was about the full extent of its usefulness.
So, what should we be doing instead? Because clearly, building a massive life routine is a complete dead end.
We need to streamline everything. Streamline means taking a complex process and making it significantly cleaner, simpler, and far easier to execute.
Right.
Exactly. We take something that seems overly complicated and trim it down until it can realistically survive inside a busy, messy lifestyle. Not 10 elaborate steps, just one small action. Something so manageable that it works even on your absolute worst morning.
Yes, not a giant routine, but a rescue point. One tiny anchor you can always return to whenever your morning has gone off the rails.
One tiny anchor you can always return to whenever your morning has gone off the rails. I am really intrigued by that concept. Tell us more about that concept.
If you sleep past your alarm and your whole schedule falls into complete chaos, you haven't actually failed at anything because there was never a fragile, massive routine to break in the first place. There's simply that one simple anchor point you routinely head back to.
So it acts less like a rigid daily schedule and far more like a life preserver. I love that image. A life preserver isn't huge or fancy, it's small on purpose because its only job is to keep your head above water until the storm clears up.
Exactly. Let me actually define one out loud right now as an example. My personal rescue point: drinking a glass of water before looking at my phone screen. That's the whole rule. Before I tap on a single notification, I drink water.
That is fantastic. Simple enough that even a completely exhausted speaker 2 can execute it without overthinking.
Listen, a fully exhausted Toma can barely figure out how to put matching socks on, so this is a major test. What's your personal rescue point, Jihad?
Pulling open the window curtains before opening any texts or emails. Prioritizing natural light before consuming information.
I actually really adore that idea. There's real power in that. You're deliberately choosing what enters your mind and eyes first.
Precisely. And honestly, even that tiny, simple choice can feel remarkably invigorating. Invigorating means something that infuses you with fresh vitality and energy, right?
Yes, not necessarily explosive superhero level energy, just enough of a gentle spark to help you get started.
And for all of our incredible friends practicing their English with us today on Glowing English, your rescue point can be even more straightforward. Just one gentle sentence spoken out loud before your phone comes out. Phrases like, "Today I'm going to practice my English for 5 minutes," or "I am steadily learning," or "Making small mistakes is a natural part of growth."
It doesn't need to be an entire grammar lesson, and nobody needs perfect English pronunciation at 6:50 in the morning.
Nobody needs perfect grammar before having their morning coffee. Not even us, and we literally teach this language for a living.
Especially not us. So to sum it up, one quiet minute, one honest statement, one small rescue point. Simple enough to work on a chaotic Tuesday morning.
I truly believe that is the core secret. Not attempting to magically fix your entire morning, but simply ensuring that the noise of the day doesn't get to say the very first word.
I love that phrasing so much. The morning doesn't get the first word, you do. Wow, that's remarkably insightful for 9 a.m.
Hey, I have my brilliant moments every now and then. Not super often, but occasionally. Now, before we get too lost in poetic ideas, let's transform these concepts into practical English vocabulary you can actually start using in your daily life.
Absolutely. We used some really impactful vocabulary today, words that help express feelings of pressure, habits, calmness, and personal energy. Let's break them down carefully. Welcome to Word Tour.
Word Tour. Our very first featured word today is relentless. 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 Relentless describes something that refuses to stop, slow down, or yield, usually in a way that feels intense, tiring, or challenging. For instance, you might say, "My busy thoughts were completely relentless this morning." It's an exceptionally useful word when describing hectic schedules or nonstop worrying.
Our second key term is sabotage. 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 To sabotage something means to deliberately or accidentally damage, spoil, or disrupt a process, making it much harder to succeed. Quite often, we sabotage our own good intentions without even realizing it. For example, I constantly sabotage my morning routine when I check social media immediately upon waking. It's a very descriptive word when reflecting on personal habits.
Our third vocabulary word is conducive. 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 Conducive means creating the ideal conditions to help a positive outcome happen, such as peace, deep focus, effective learning, or good health. You could say, creating a calm environment is highly conducive to studying English effectively. It sounds a bit sophisticated, but it is super practical in daily conversation.
Moving right along, our fourth word is streamline. 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 To streamline something means to simplify a system, structure, or process, removing unnecessary steps to make it run smoother and faster. You might say, "I really need to streamline my morning schedule so I'm not rushing out the door." Simple concept, extremely strong word.
Next, we have a wonderfully practical phrase, rescue point. Rescue point. Rescue point. A rescue point refers to one small, dependable action or anchor you can lean on to regain your balance whenever your day becomes stressful or disorganized. For instance, having a quick cup of tea in silence is my daily rescue point when work becomes crazy. I love this phrase because it feels so down to earth and achievable.
And our final featured word for today is invigorating. 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 Invigorating describes something that makes you feel refreshed, vibrant, and filled with renewed energy. It doesn't have to mean a massive surge of energy. Sometimes it's just a light, refreshing feeling. You could express it like this: taking a crisp morning walk outdoors feels wonderfully invigorating.
What a fantastic list! To recap, our words and phrases today were relentless, sabotage, conducive, streamline, rescue point, and invigorating.
If you want to review and truly master these expressions, remember that our channel, Glowing English, is always here to support your learning journey. We are so deeply grateful for all the kind comments, likes, and encouragement you share with us. It truly means the world to know these videos are helping you speak more naturally.
These specific words allow you to talk about real-life experiences, like handling stress, daily pressure, building better habits, and how you want to structure your day. So many English learners understand these exact emotions in their native language, but they sometimes struggle to find the right natural expressions in English. That is why we take our time to break things down step by step using real sentences.
Exactly right. So now let's take a few basic everyday morning sentences and upgrade them so they sound much more descriptive, expressive, and fluent. Welcome to Say It Better.
Say it better. Here's our first basic example sentence. I feel stress in the morning. A very common feeling and the sentence you hear all the time, but let's make it more descriptive and natural. Upgraded version, my morning often starts with stress before I even have time to catch my breath.
That sounds so much more natural. It provides deeper context and paints a clearer picture of how quickly that stress sets in.
Exactly. It conveys the immediate nature of the feeling. Let's look at the second sentence. I think too much. This gets the point across, but it feels very plain and broad. Upgraded version, my thoughts can be completely relentless in the early morning.
That sounds far more precise, fluent, and descriptive.
Here's our third example. I ruin my morning. While people will easily understand what you mean, it sounds a bit overly harsh, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It sounds as if you're harshly attacking yourself.
Let's refine it. Upgraded version, sometimes I sabotage my own morning by jumping straight into daily pressures.
That is such a huge improvement. It accurately identifies the unhelpful habit without sounding self-critical or cruel.
Let's try a fourth example. I need a peaceful morning. A great goal, but a bit generic. Upgraded version, I want to make my very first moment more conducive to calm.
That sounds very thoughtful and articulate. And if you'd prefer a slightly simpler phrasing, you can easily say, I want my first moment to help me feel calmer. Both variations are fantastic to have in your vocabulary toolbox.
Here's another common one. I need an easier routine. That's a fine sentence, but given our earlier conversation, the word routine can sometimes sound like a heavy chore or homework.
Upgraded version, I need one small rescue point for chaotic mornings.
That feels much more practical and achievable. You're not making a grand promise to follow a perfect 10-step plan. You're simply picking one reliable anchor to return to when things get messy.
Let's look at our next phrase. I need to make my morning simpler, clear, and useful. Let's polish that up.
I need to streamline my morning with one honest phrase and one tiny action.
That sounds well organized, mature, and clear without being overly complicated. Definitely no 10-step routines required.
Please, no more 10-step routines. Okay, here's our final basic sentence. A small action helps me. Simple, true, but a little plain. Upgraded version, one small action can feel surprisingly invigorating.
That sentence carries so much more emotion and color. It really highlights how a tiny positive choice can lift your mood.
Exactly. Not superhero levels of energy, just that small, necessary spark to get your day moving in the right direction. Now, Toma, shall we string a few of these polished expressions together into a complete, fluent thought?
Give it a go.
Here's a B2 level, upper intermediate combination. My morning often starts with stress before I even have time to catch my breath. My thoughts can be completely relentless in the early morning, and sometimes I sabotage my morning by jumping straight into daily pressures. Tomorrow, I want to make my very first moment more conducive to calm. I will select one small rescue point, like drinking water before checking my phone, and one honest phrase to help me begin.
Wow, that sounds extremely fluent, natural, and clear. But let's also create a wonderful B1 level, intermediate version that's equally powerful yet slightly simpler. Mornings are often tough for me. I usually wake up feeling like I'm behind schedule. Tomorrow, I want to start my day with one calm sentence and one tiny positive action.
That version is clean, effective, and completely natural. Notice that it doesn't try to cram every single advanced vocabulary word into one paragraph, and that is 100% fine. In real everyday conversations, you never need to force complicated words into every sentence. Always choose the words that feel most comfortable and authentic to you. Simple English is not weak English. Simple English is clear, and clear communication is powerful.
So as you go to sleep tonight and wake up tomorrow morning, please don't feel pressured to completely reinvent yourself or transform your entire life before breakfast. Just focus on picking one honest, grounding sentence and one simple rescue point. Mine is drinking a glass of water before looking at any phone notifications.
And mine is opening up the window curtains to let light in before checking my inbox. We would genuinely love to hear from you. Leave a comment down below sharing your personal morning sentence or your own rescue point. Keep it realistic, keep it simple, and keep it honest.
Thank you all so much for spending your valuable time practicing English with us today on Glowing English.
As a final reminder before you go, if you haven't done so already, please remember to subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell, and visit our channel homepage for dozens of other full-length English practice lessons. Your support means the absolute world to us.
Keep practicing, keep building your confidence, and as always, keep leaping forward in your language journey.
We can't wait to see you in our very next lesson. Bye for now, everyone.